Hi, and welcome back to another flight review. Today we are going to be traveling on British Airways First Class on their Boeing 777-200 aircraft. This review starts in London Heathrow, and we are starting the trip in the Concorde room. This is exclusively for passengers traveling in first class. It's a quiet space that also has a lot of Concorde references like the Concorde nose. One of my favorite parts is this outdoor space. It opens over the terminal, but it just has some nice outdoor feels. So since this flight is departing to the US, we are headed to Chicago. We're going to be leaving from the satellite terminal. We're leaving from the sea gates for today's flight. Which means we had to take the train on over, which wasn't too bad. We were supposed to actually be on a 787-9, and then it was last minute swap to a 777-200. So I would say for people in business, that's a huge upgrade since you have their new club suites on this product. For first, I don't think it really was a big deal either way, since British Airways has pretty consistent first class. As we get here, I love the window shades that British Airways has on their 777s. It just looks so nice. It's so nice to have the additional layer of blinds that they're automatic. My light was broken, but generally there's a blue LED light that kind of encompasses the windows. That just really gives you some really nice mood lighting. The crew on this flight were absolutely superb, just some of the best that I've had. We started with warm nuts, some champagne, and some water, a really nice amenity kit, pajamas and slippers, and really just got settled. We were delayed, I think, about an hour, just while things were wrapping up, and it was just nice to be able to relax in this environment and to have a really nice amount of service before we ever got airborne. This is a 777-200 bathroom. These are one of their older planes, so nice, clean, but nothing really fancy. They do have the cloth towels right there, which is a nice touch for their first class products across their fleet. The screen is nice. It's not Japan Airlines brand new business class. It's not Emirates game changer, but I really think for the routes that British Airways flies, it's about 10 hours, 12 hours maximum. For the majority of the routes, sure, they have 15-hour routes here or there, but they're not doing ultra long haul routes like maybe Japan Airlines or even Emirates is. But nonetheless, just a really great ambiance. Now that we're airborne, we could take a look at the shades here. You can see the blue that I was talking about, but it kind of went on and off during the duration of the flight. But it just gives you just a really nice ambiance, especially having the automatic window shades and blinds come down. Once we got airborne, service started fairly quickly. The crew, again, were phenomenal. We'll look at today's menu, but pretty spacious seat. For the appetizer, I had the fried elderflower. It was an interesting plate. Wasn't too soggy, nice flavor. And for the main, I had the beef Wellington, which, to be honest with you, the other time I was able to fly British Airways First Class, I believe maybe it was a year or two ago, they had, I think, a nicer menu. The beef Wellington's nice and it tasted well and had great flavor, but I believe they served lamb chops on the last time, and they also had some other more upscale dishes, but I could be wrong. I mean, beef Wellington could be a very upscale dish that I'm not generally used to ordering. And the dessert were just great. It was just amazing flavor and just really nice way to wrap up the meal. So with this being more of the smaller intimate cabin, there were only 8 first class seats, and the cabin crew converted my bed into a bed without even asking for it. The duvet was really nice. I felt like the bedding was great. Nice thick mattress topper, definitely an elevated experience from business class. And this is what it looks like in full bed mode. Your feet are not constricted, and it just was a very comfortable way to get a few hours of sleep on this daytime flight, which I believe it was about 8.5, 9 hours. So I was able to definitely get a few hours of sleep. The pre-arrival meal started. It was a full meal. I had the eggplant parmigiana plate, and it was really nice, light and tasty, and a great way to end the flight as we descended on into Chicago. We also had this dessert. It was I can't remember the name of it, but it was really tasty. Not as tasty as the main dessert. I'm more of a chocolate guy, but it was also a very nice light dessert to wrap up the flight. There's definitely not a shortage of food on this flight. So I know I said earlier on that being swapped from the 787-9 to the 777-200 wasn't that big of a difference in first class, but I said that and recorded that a couple weeks ago, and I actually just tried the 787-10 on the same route, and I'll have a video out for it. But what was interesting is there's actually a big difference in first class between the two products, and it depends on what you're looking for. For instance, on this aircraft you're able to do buddy dining, and I was flying solo, so that wasn't a big deal for me. But when I tried it on 787-10, I didn't realize you couldn't do buddy dining on that, which is their newer seat, which is a real disappointment because that's one great benefit of first class. The TV is night and day as well, and so I'll have a comparison video, but just to correct myself, the plane swap did have a difference. So some people had a upgrade, some people had a downgrade in experience depending on what you were looking for. But at the end of the day, as we're approaching Chicago, this is a great time to wrap up the flight experience. You know, British Airways offers a really great soft product in my opinion. The hard product, you know, you compare it to Emirates. You know, some of the more flashier first class products, sure, there's a lot you could pick at, but I will say these are very comfortable seats, especially on the 777s. The service is great, and you have all that you need for the first class experience. This is an 8.5 hour flight. There's really only so much that you could offer someone in addition to first class. The service, again, I just had one of the best flight attendants serving our section of the plane, and it just felt so warm and not really fake service. You could tell it was just genuine, and it was a very great way to spend 8.5 hours. As we're descending into Chicago, I will say, please, if you do not mind, subscribe. I hate saying that, but it's a very great way to help the channel, and it gives me more motivation to edit these videos quicker and get them out to you. At the end of the day, you have options of when you fly, and kind of one of the main reasons I want to provide these reviews is so you can see, you know, the difference between aircraft, the difference between airlines, and what you can and can't receive, and just to give you some more of a kind of just information on how to book it. How did I book this? So unlike the American Airlines where I paid for an upgrade on a paid ticket, I actually bought this ticket completely using my Alaska miles, which, although it was just recently devalued, you still have very great options, especially for first class redemptions, and especially business class too. From Europe to the East Coast of the United States, all the way up into Chicago. Anything further than Chicago, you end up needing to pay more miles, but you know, business starts at 45,000 points from the US to Europe, from the East Coast. And first class, you can get, it depends on where you go, but it's anywhere from 67,000 points all the way up to 82, and you can go as high as 105,000 if you're leaving from Spain. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, and stick around for future reviews.